Welcome back to my channel, guys. Is this the ultimate betrayal of Donald Trump? A major shift in global geopolitics, quote, following a $25 billion nuclear cooperation framework signed between Russia and Iran is happening as we speak. But that is not the end of the story. I just want to focus on the story though a little bit more because I think it is important for all of us to understand and see the whole situation, how it is developing. This development is a direct consequence of Donald Trump's maximum pressure, quote unquote, strategy towards Iran, which demanded total nuclear surrender without providing security guarantees. As we know right now, Donald Trump wants Iran to give up its nuclear program. Not only that, he also wants those nuclear dust. He said, hand them over to me. But now, looks like Russia butted in, and now Donald Trump is panicking. But again, as I said, this is not the end of the story. I have something else to share with you to show how Donald Trump is betraying. By signing this agreement, according to this report, Putin has positioned Russia as a protector of Iran, effectively embedding Russian interest into Iran's nuclear infrastructure and creating a significant hurdle for any future military action by the United States. Now, is Trump Putin's asset is what we will be discussing next. Well, in the Congress, when Trump administration officials were asked about Trump's relationship with Putin, whether Trump is an asset of Putin, these officials could not answer. They did not give a direct answer, and so there was like, yeah, no, but yeah, no. So those kind of answer, not quite clear cut. But now we have this report. Take a listen at this one. U.S. They have decided to cancel the sale of Tomahawk cruise missiles to Germany. This is a response to concerns about Russian escalation. In other words, according to this report, Putin said to Donald Trump, don't sell those Tomahawk missiles to Germany. Don't give it to them. Because if you do, then situation will get escalated. And Trump capitulated. Trump said, okay, no problem. Now, it is not really like that. I mean, why would Trump really care what Putin has to say so much so that he doesn't give one of his best allies in Europe basic Tomahawk cruise missiles? Like Tomahawk, they are a big deal, but not in the sense that these are exclusively, retained or manufactured by America. I mean, these Tomahawk cruise missiles can be found somewhere else. Germany can, the equivalent of it, Germany can find them. Germany can source them. Just like Ukraine is sourcing so many of its military equipments from other countries and also manufacturing them locally. But then why US is saying, no, this is a big deal, I'm not going to give you anything, forget about Tomahawk cruise missiles? Well, it is because, as I said, perhaps Vladimir Putin has dirty laundry of Donald Trump from Epstein file. Okay, that's my assumption as to why Donald Trump is acting this way. This can be interpreted, according to this report, as a sign of eroding American deterrence. Now, an analysis suggests that Iran has pivoted away from the West towards Moscow to avoid capitulation. This realignment is likely structural and permanent, regardless of future diplomatic efforts. Potential scenarios for the future. Now, we'll have a domino effect. Other nations, after this kind of alignment between Iran and Russia, now analysts, they're saying there could be other countries doing the same. Other nations, quote, begin hedging their security alliances as they observe Iran's successful pivot to Russia. The U.S. administration attempts military action to counter the loss of influence, risking a broader conflict. Now, an analysis also concludes by saying or questioning whether Trump's strategy inadvertently created the very alliance it intended to prevent, leaving Washington silenced in a critical theater. Okay, so we have to ask few questions when we report this. Number one is, how does Putin protect Iranian nuclear sites? Well, according to the report, Vladimir Putin does not protect Iran's nuclear sites through direct military presence or missiles, but rather by embedding Russian interest into the legal and financial framework of Iran's nuclear infrastructure. The narrator or the analyst explains that by signing a $25 billion nuclear cooperation agreement between Russia and Iran, Russia has made itself a legal partner in the custody of Iranian nuclear material. This creates a deterrence because a military strike on these facilities would now potentially mean, listen to this, now will potentially mean striking assets in which Russian interests are legally and financially entangled. So you can see how Russia has complicated the whole situation for Donald Trump. You strike Iran, you are also striking us in an indirect way. And obviously, we know Donald Trump will never take action against Iran as long as Putin is there. Why? Because he's not taking action against Russia on behalf of Ukraine, because again, he's afraid of Putin for some very strange reason. We do not know why. Is this the ultimate betrayal? Well, looks like to me it is happening right in front of our eyes. And then you also have to understand what impact does this deal have on Europe. So according to the report, the agreement and associated geopolitical developments have several key impacts on Europe. Okay, demonstration of conditional security. The analysts, they highlight the US decision to cancel the delivery of Tomahawk cruise missiles to Germany as a response to Russian concerns, describing it as a live demonstration, quote unquote, live demonstration of what conditional American security guarantees look like under pressure. Okay, and I want you to take a look, if you can, here, read from here. This is what was posted. Now, European strategic re-evaluation. European capitals are observing these events closely, and the video predicts, there is this video on YouTube, that this will lead to accelerated European defense spending and deeper military coordination that exists outside of American command structure. In other words, America has lost its credibility in Europe and also, of course, in the Middle East when Iran targeted those Gulf nations' US bases. The analysts argue that NATO members have taken note of how security commitments can be contingent on volatile domestic US politics. It suggests that every NATO capital has filed this data point, quote unquote, filed this data point, which will shape their future security calculations moving forward. So again, European countries, NATO nations, none of these countries or the leader of these countries are interested in seeing what Donald Trump will do and how he will protect Europe. That day is gone, and so they are now preparing and planning for their own self-defense. If a strike comes from Russia, obviously Donald Trump will not budge, will not protect Europe. Rather, it will be the opposite. He might even help Putin, who knows, in striking Europe. Who knows? He might give him a green light. I'll give you more updates on this. Subscribe for more videos.